Hello and welcome to the Summer Sessions tutorial on how to apply for your student visa. As an international student, you are required to receive a student visa to participate in summer sessions, and in this tutorial, we are going to explain the process of how to obtain a student visa in order to study in the United States. To start things off, we'd like to give a brief overview of what we're going to talk about today. We'll start by going over the Certificate of Eligibility and its importance. Then we'll discuss the I-901 SEVIS fee and how it fits into the process. We will review the various steps in actually applying for your student visa. And lastly, we'll provide a brief overview of what you need to know for your visa interview. Let's start with the Form I-20 and Form DS-2019. You're probably thinking, what is it? Why is it important? How do I get it? And what do I do with it? Well, to answer these questions, allow us to start by saying that the Form I-20 or DS-2019 is the document that certifies your eligibility to study in the United States. This form contains all of the relevant information regarding your program of study, including information about the school to which you've been accepted, the length of your program, and your ability to pay for the program. As a student who is enrolling in UC Berkeley Summer Sessions, you'll receive this document from our office. Please remember that the Form I-20 or DS-2019 is not the same as a visa, but it is still a very important document that you will need when applying for your F1 visa or J1 visa, respectively. Also, be sure to take care of this document for the duration of your studies in the US. You will need this document if you were to leave and re-enter the country. Okay, let's move on to the I-901 SEVIS fee and what it is. The I-901 SEVIS fee is a fee that all international students are required to pay. This fee helps fund the Student and Exchange Visitor Program, SEVP, that makes it possible for international students to pursue their studies in the United States. Please remember that this fee is separate from any visa fees charged by an embassy or consulate and school fees charged by the university. To pay for the I-901 SEVIS fee, visit www.fmjfee.com and use your SEVIS ID number to log in and pay the fee. Keep in mind that you should pay the SEVIS fee at least 3 days before your visa interview. Also, you will need to keep your receipt and bring it with you to your visa interview at a US embassy.
Speaking of which, let's move on to talk about how you apply for your visa and what to expect. First, you'll simply want to start by locating your nearest US embassy or consulate. You can do this by visiting usembassy.gov. Here, you'll be able to search for embassy locations in your home country. Once you've selected an embassy, scroll over to the non-immigrant visa section to find out more information on how to apply for your F1 or J1 student visa. Since the websites of US embassies can differ from one another, please follow the directions listed on the embassy website that you have selected. Don't be surprised if you are redirected to a third-party website such as ustraveldocs.com. Create an account by clicking on New User and follow the instructions. One thing to remember is that if you are a citizen of Canada or Bermuda, you are not required to go through this process.
Once you have set up your account, you'll need to complete the Form DS-160, which is as simple as following the instructions listed on the website. Answer all of the questions listed on the form to the best of your abilities. Unfortunately, the DS-160 is used for many different kinds of visa applications, so be aware that some of the questions may not be relevant to you and your purposes for coming to the US. So just answer these questions as best as you can. I should also mention a few things to consider when completing the DS-160. First, your session will expire after 20 minutes of inactivity. You also need to answer all of the questions in English. Please remember to have on file a digital copy of a passport photo of you. This photo will be used on your student visa, so be sure that the photo meets the requirements of the DS-160. Another important thing to remember is to be ready to provide a US address of where you will stay when you enter the US. Now, this does not have to be a permanent location. It can be a hotel or a family member's home if you have relatives here in the States. You will also be required to provide a contact you might have in the United States. If you do not have a relative or friend living in the US, feel free to provide the address below of our PDSO, Vanina Grinnell. Once you have filled out the DS-160, you will need to pay a $160 visa fee to complete your application. Please keep your receipt after completing the purchase, as you will need this document when you schedule your visa interview.
All right, now that you've completed the DS-160 and paid your visa fee, you're ready to begin scheduling a visa interview. An F1 as well as J1 visa allows international students to pursue educational opportunities in the US. And most importantly, the primary purpose of this visa is to study and be admitted to the US as an international student. That being said, this status restricts students' ability to be employed, as this is not a work visa. Knowing this information will be helpful during your interview. So, to initiate this process, you'll want to schedule an appointment for your visa interview at your local US embassy or consulate. To do this, visit the embassy's website and schedule an appointment. When scheduling your interview, you will need the following 3 items: your passport number, your CGI reference number from your visa fee receipt, and your 10-digit barcode from the DS-160 confirmation page. As a hint, this particular number is written in red.
With that settled, your last step in the visa application process is having a successful visa interview with a consular officer. Remember to bring with you the following items: your Form I-20 or DS-2019, your financial documents which demonstrate how you will be supporting yourself, your proof of enrollment, this can be printed from CalCentral, any academic documents such as transcripts, diplomas, or letters of recommendation, and your I-901 SEVIS fee receipt. One thing to note is, due to the high volume of applications, visa interviews are brief and decisions can be made based on the first few minutes of your interactions. With that said, please be respectful and polite when speaking with the consular officer, and when you ask questions, be concise with your responses. Keep in mind that the consular officer will ask you a variety of questions related to your purpose for visiting the United States. Be prepared to explain what your program is and how it enhances your educational experience. You should be able to demonstrate how you will use this knowledge in your home country when your program is over. Speaking of your home country, it's important to show that you have significant ties to your country. This is because of the non-immigrant nature of the F1 and J1 visas. Students with an F1 or J1 visa must be able to demonstrate that they have no intention of immigrating to the US, so be prepared to provide that kind of information. Additionally, remember that your main purpose is to study in the US. Any mention of future work plans in the US could be grounds for your visa denial, so please keep your interviews centered on your educational goals. And speaking of visa denials, it is possible to have your visa application denied for various reasons. And if this happens to you, please ask for documentation on why you were denied and contact us immediately so that we can assist you. Finally, it's important to present any and all information when the consular officer requests it. The last thing you want to do is to overwhelm the consular officer with all these documents. Thank you for watching our information session on applying for a visa. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us at visiting-intl@berkeley.edu. We look forward to seeing you in Berkeley.